Okay folks, today I'm in Abbie and I'm doing something a little bit different. We're going to be walking an event. In fact, it's going to be 26 miles through the Wiltshire landscape, all the way to some army base somewhere. I don't know, I'm just going to walk until I get there. But it's actually an event called the Sarsen Trail or the Neolithic Marathon, and it's run by the Wiltshire Wildlife Trust. And I'm really excited to be here, not just to kind of give a massive shout out to the Wildlife Trust, because, you know, they have an amazing history. If you don't know anything about the Wildlife Trust, check them out. They've been around since 1912. There's like at least 47 individual charities underneath the Wildlife Trust title, and they all work together to protect and promote the beauty of the wild areas in the UK. They are amazing with the work that they do. So today, this event, the Sarsen Trail, is run raising funds for them to help them keep doing what they do. You can walk it, run it, cycle it, you can bring your dog, you can proper flat out get the job done. But I'm hoping today 26 miles is going to take about 8 hours. We'll see how we go. My mindset is kind of just eat on the go, drink on the go, keep moving. Pack's a little bit heavier than I'd like it to be, but it's going to be good. And the weather today is a little bit strange as well, in the sense that it's quite stormy. So it's rainy and then sunny, but it's overall very warm. So we'll see how we go. We're just making our way to the start, and then from there, 26 miles later, we'll get to the end. Just entering into the Abbie Stone Circle, which is awesome because 2016, this is where I started my Ridgeway walk, where I walked from Abbie to Ivanhoe Beacon across the Wiltshire, Berkshire, Oxfordshire landscape. Look at these rocks, absolutely fascinating.
Abbie is a Neolithic henge monument made up of 3 stone circles. It contains the largest megalithic stone circle in the world and is one of the best known prehistoric sites in Britain.
Okay. Fab, thank you.
There's a map there.
Alright then, so that's the barn. I've registered, I've got my check card which I have to check off at various points throughout the walk today. There's no kind of official beginning, you just rock up and start as long as you're logged. So I've started. It is 8 minutes past 8 if we're going to be super specific. So we'll see how we get on. If I can average about 3.5 miles to 4 miles an hour today, should be able to smash it out in, yeah, roughly 8 hours. We'll see how we go. But it's kind of such a shame to rush through Abbie. I mean, we've got the edge of the stone circle here. Amazing, amazing World Heritage Site. But if you want to find out more about that, check out the Ridgeway walk. Oh, yes. There's the thunder. Yes. Very dramatic start. We've got a little sputtering of rain coming down. We've had some thunder, and I'm like, what, 500 meters in? But I've changed into a coat. Hopefully won't need to change for the rest of the day, just because it uses time. Not that I'm trying to be funny about time, but do you want to know the best thing right now? I've gone the wrong flipping way. I just subtly backtracked and then I saw some people go to the right, so I'm just going to follow them and hope that they're walking the event rather than just doing a casual day walk. Look at these buildings though. How full of character are they? Look at that yellow door. Oh man. So as I mentioned earlier, there are various reasons why I'm doing this walk today. So the first is, as I said, to shout out for the Wildlife Trust, to highlight all that they do and encourage the 80-odd thousand members to stay members, because you guys are vital to helping these guys fund the protection of these wild areas. And the second reason, which is more of a personal reason to be honest, is to test myself mentally and physically. A marathon distance, which is 26.2 miles, inevitably is a challenge. Now I've run a few marathons before, trail marathons along the Exmoor coast, and they've been pretty undulating. I've also walked this route before, but that was way back in like 2010 and I had company, whereas this time I've specifically done this on my own. I've not really told anyone about it. I just wanted to drive for 2 hours, rock up here and walk. So I'm hoping to maybe have a chat with people along the way, although I expect most people have kind of had the head in game, just getting that pace up. But 26 miles is just a fantastic length. 8-9 hours to just think, to enjoy the landscape around me. I mean, I absolutely adore the Wiltshire landscape. It's an archaeological area full of amazing sites of interest. Long barrows, you've just started at Abbie. It just gets so interesting, but also quite monotonous in a sense that it is realistically quite flat. There'll be a lot of rapeseed out at this time of year, so it'll be colourful. The weather will certainly keep it interesting, I'm sure, but I just want to reach that point where I'm like, why am I doing this? I'm tired. I've got blisters, my rucksack's too heavy, everything's uncomfortable, and then push through that, because for me, I feel like that's when I have to choose to partner with myself, and day-to-day life often brings up that challenge of having to partner with myself, but I can get away with not doing so very often, whereas today I'm going to have to. I'm stepping out in partnership with myself to build myself, to encourage myself, and show myself that I can. This is my playground, the outside. Distance doesn't matter. I love the fact that there's various distances, so whole families can come and walk today, but I'm just stoked to make the most of the day, so I need to up my pace though, that's the first thing.
These two large stones, known as Adam and Eve, are the only visible remains of Longstone Cove and Beckton Avenue, a major ceremonial avenue leading from Abbie. That is a happy looking dog.
That there looks like the remains of some burial mound. I don't have a map on me, so it doesn't tell me anything, but it is a mound shape and it's in Wiltshire in the Abbie ritual landscape, so it's probably something to do with the Neolithic period. Yeah, thank you. Well, we headed across the road, ideal. Is it too early to say that I'm loving this? Like genuinely, I'm probably like what, a mile in, and it's just so awesome. I'm really happy to be out, to have this excuse, to just have all this time to myself and just to walk, doing what I love in an area that I love. And I'm pretty happy about being surrounded by people who love the same thing as well. This is the first very gradual ascent, nothing much, but still pacing it out just because I don't want to burn out early today. My biggest worry actually is the injury in my trap, so my left sort of shoulder blade area. Most of you guys know, if you followed my films, I tore it way back in 2012 backpacking, and it's never been right since. In fact, sometimes it's absolute agony, and lack of sleep these last couple of weeks is really causing it to nag because I'm more tense than normal and it's hurting already. So just very cautious, trying to care for it, and I'll keep the weight off the shoulders as much as possible if I need to. Oh, I said this was a gradual ascent, didn't I? What am I doing? This muggy weather is very strange. It's kind of just dulling all the colours in the landscape. I mean, this view could be pretty spectacular, and it is, don't get me wrong, but even the rapeseed just looks green as opposed to vibrant yellow, and it's so muggy. It's like, I think 21 degrees right now, and we're only nearly 4 miles in, sweating buckets. There really is not a breeze at all. I'm not complaining, it's just the elements for today, but it really is quite incredible how the weather changes the look and the feel of a landscape. Thanks very much.
Oh, you're welcome.
Cheers. Well, I mean, since we've got another 22 miles to go, thought I could just have a quick chat about the food that I brought today. What do I carry on an event like this? Well, there's many ways you can approach it. Firstly, water. Let's talk about hydration. Very, very important to stay hydrated. Make sure you're replacing electrolytes. So I use little dissolvable tablets that I put in the water so that the sweat I'm sweating out, especially when I'm running, I'm replacing all the salt and all the electrolytes that are coming out of my skin, so that's very helpful. I was carrying 1.5 litres today, but I've actually just downed half a litre and poured the other half away because I decided, since there's checkpoints like every 3 miles, I just need to keep one bottle filled up and make sure I refill at the checkpoints. There's no point carrying more than I need to. So that's hydration. Oh, I also have a cheeky flask of coffee, so no shame. And then for food then, what I've got is, I had 2 bananas, one of which I've already eaten. I have an apple. I have a handful of satsumas because I really like satsumas. And then I've also got an array of cereal bars, as well as 2 hard-boiled eggs for some protein. So I could have brought a sandwich or something like that, but for me cereal bars are great to eat on the go. We've got a selection of like raw fruit bars and like banana loaf things and everything I like to eat. It's just an excuse really to eat loads. But I also fueled up last night and I'm feeling quite energized, which is awesome. And we're just approaching the 4-mile mark with a pretty spectacular view over a very giant hill fort. Look at that. Wow.
This round lump was actually called Tan Hill, sitting at 294 metres above sea level. It's the second highest point on the North Wessex Downs AONB, although it isn't connected to prehistoric use.
Short and sharp climb. Feels good on the legs. Could it be vertical? Never mind. Gosh, you know, I really have to admit this scenery is stunning. It's so incredibly hazy, but it really adds an atmosphere to the landscape. And just passed over this hill fort mountain thing here. We got another little incline before dropping down along this ridge. And just either side is just pure awesomeness. It really is pretty fab. It's pretty cool having the runners go past actually, because you can start at any time really between 7 or 6:30 and 9. It's really staggered, which is awesome, and you can just run the race at your own pace, and I love that. It's so relaxed and yet so well organised. It's ideal. We are crossing a canal that is rammed full with canal boats. How awesome is that? Check this out. Can you imagine if you went to the toilet and then got driven away? It's funny. Eight miles in. Yes. Feeling good. Much of the route today goes through MOD land, so the event organisers have gained access and you can hear them shooting kind of all around. Listen to that. We're at Redhorn here, which is the finishing place for some people. Not a bad spot.
We are carrying on.
Thank you very much. Cheers. We are just approaching the 12-mile mark. I'm feeling considerably better than I was a few miles back. Excuse me. Sort of 9 miles I definitely had a bit of a plummet, which was very surprising because that's my kind of usual afternoon walk length. But having passed through that checkpoint, unplugged my earphones and just listening to the skylarks, and there's a bit more of a breeze now, which is ideal for me. It's very, very muggy, which just saps you no matter how much you drink. It's just lethargic really. But here's a 12-mile mark. Happy days. Don't waste too much time. Onwards I haven't actually really had a chance to sort of chat to anybody, which is fine, but I mean, it's kind of as I expected. They are racing, so if they're walking in a group, they're socializing in their group. If they're individuals, heads down, they're getting those miles in, so it's alright. I'm making good time. I've got definitely quite a bit more pain than I'd like in my trap, and my right leg is more uncomfortable than I'd like it to be as well. Halfway. Just coming up to the next aid station. I'm going to stop here, nip to the loo, get a refill and readjust my rucksack. Should take all in all 5 minutes, absolute max, and then we'll press on. But just so you know, this is my first stop. Oh yeah! Done! Onwards! Oh, that felt good. Oh my word. There's like a tank graveyard over there. Literally like loads of them just across the landscape. Wow. We're pretty close to getting down to single figures now. I was just like, yeah, I'm feeling emotionally really good. Like legs are stiff, trap hurts, but feeling great. And then we just ran in the corner to see another hill. Of course, you can see all the way up it because that's how it works on this route. So find that determination, pressing on. Let it be an opportunity as opposed to an obstacle. It certainly does feel weird walking a route where I don't actually know too much about it. I wish there was more I could tell you face to camera, but I know nothing. Which is kind of quite nice because it means I just gotta crack on and get the miles in. But I know I've passed some quite significant archaeological sites and I just don't know anything about them, which is such a shame. I'm not sure what this is. Some kind of trailer thing. Oh, I am looking forward to that 20-mile mark. To know there's 6 and a bit left to go. It's kind of really quite challenging to film something like this where you're just pushing the whole time and walking in one direction along a straight road or path. But you know, it has been enjoyable, and I keep getting like 2nd, 3rd, 4th wins. I keep crashing and then coming back up and crashing and coming back up, so it's quite nice to have everything around me consistent when perhaps mentally I'm not. It's also interesting because all along the floor in various areas there's like scatterings of bullet shells, so I'm just kind of keeping myself entertained by checking things out and just breathing, enjoying being out here. I'm quite surprised we haven't seen any red kites though. This is red kite territory and I have seen 0. Some kind of military camp, rollstone there, tucked away in the trees. We're gonna cross this vast expanse of car park and keep walking in a straight line. I'm really not exaggerating when I say that you can just see the path stretch out as far as the horizon. I mean, look, I know the GoPro's wide angle, unfortunately, but it just goes on, straight line to the quarry, then on. It's like, okay then, forwards we go. The whole day actually has just been filled with the fragrance of blossom. We've been walking past all of these trees. Oh my word, it's just incredible. It's so flowery. I'm sorry, that's all I've got at 19 miles in. That's it, that's all you're getting. Oh wow, I didn't know this was en route. It's a Stonehenge viewing point. just casually walking off the path, even though all the signs say don't do that. There you go. Stonehenge viewing point. So it's way, way, way over there. Even tiny for me to be able to see, so it's still quite cool that it's there. Yes, I've wanted to see that for a little bit of time. 20 miles in, 6.2 to go. Happy days. Woo!
He's expecting her to go on, go and do it.
Oh. Just past 22 miles, 4 miles to go. I'm actually feeling surprisingly awesome. I don't know why really, I just feel very energetic. I'm very pleased that all of my aches and pains are muscular as opposed to skeletal. Very tight muscles in the legs. Definitely got 1 or 2 blisters coming on my feet, but nowhere near as bad as it has been in the past. Obviously my chap is still a pain, but I'm feeling really joyful at being out, and to know that there's only 4 miles left, like, that's a breeze. And I'll never take it for granted that my body can do this kind of thing, and I never want to lose it either. I want to keep myself fit and healthy inside and out. I'm just finding myself wishing that I wish this was a 50k, so 32 miles, just add on those extra 6 miles on the end. Got a road crossing. Let's try not to die this far into the thing. Cool. Here we go. 23 mile mark. Oh my word. That's not half bad. There it is. Feeling good. 3 and a bit miles to go. The countdown really has begun. Still psychologically feeling pretty awesome. And I just spent the last mile kind of pondering, why on earth am I here? I mean on this walk, not any deeper than that. Why am I doing this walk? And I know I said about, yeah, shout out for the Wildlife Trust, test myself physically and mentally, but what does that look like? Well, this is how I fight my battles. Coming out here, pushing myself to the point where everything hurts, where my mind's like, nope, and I've crossed that. I just crossed it a lot earlier than I expected. And telling myself to keep going. As I say, that partnership with myself and stripping life down to actually just put 1 foot forwards, 1 foot in front of the other, and keep walking forwards. Just keep on keeping on. And I enjoy pushing myself like this physically because, now this is going to sound really somber, but this is meant to be important. As somebody who struggles with mental illness, like really struggles with mental illness, coming out here and doing a marathon, whether I'm walking or I'm running or I'm cycling, in fact, whatever distance, totally fries me. The pain that comes with that is nothing in comparison to the mental agony that comes with mental illness. The distress and the anxiety and everything else, depending on what it looks like, it's just absolutely horrendous. And so coming out here is confirmation to me that actually I'm still alive and I'm still in control and I'm still me. I am not those things, but I am me. And the feeling of satisfaction and joy that I get at the end of these things, just, there's nothing else. Knowing that I've done that myself when day to day I feel like I'm defeated, coming out here and walking a distance, pushing through the pain and regaining some control, it's just the most elating thing. And I think it's really, really important to find those things that build that character and test us in a very safe way and a healthy way. And for me, that's what I'm doing today, is I'm testing myself. I'm regaining access to my mind and to my body, because you have to in order to get through. And I'm just trying to make sure I enjoy every step, because it is a journey, it is an experience, and now I'm sharing it with you guys. I'm trying to be more and more open and honest with you about how mental illness affects me and so many other people on the planet. And it's really, really hard because stigma is being broken, so it is becoming safer to say that you struggle with mental illness and not be condemned for that. But access to help is so nearly impossible. It's absolutely heartbreaking, and it's something I really want to fight for, and along with others pioneer the way to see access to help become easier, because more help is needed, more support is needed, but in a really roundabout, weird way, this is self-care for me, and that is the root of why I'm out here today. Oh, it feels good. It really does feel good. Crossing the river. Oh, look at that. That's not a bad spot.
The last mile to the official end was fantastic walking, with the sun shining, views far-reaching, and the atmosphere buzzing in anticipation. I was overwhelmed with gratitude that my body could carry me such a distance and still feel fresh, and felt proud of and united with every single person who'd undertaken the challenge. I want to take this opportunity to encourage you to step up and out of your comfort zones, to try something new and to spend more time in the wild. Start by speaking cans over your life rather than can'ts, and you never know, you might just surprise yourself and get to experience an epic journey along the way.
Oh, check this out. This is the hub. Let's get through that finish line and rejoice.
And
Thank you.
Food
Oh,
and
food.
in the tent.
Cool.
And massage too.
Oh. Thanks for being out today. 7 hours and 43 minutes later, we are here. Done. Is this the end?
Hello, this is the end.
This is the end.
There is no more.
Oh, that was great.
Congratulations.
Yay! Thank you very much.
Well, thank you.
Very comfy on this hay bale, and I've got the medal for the journey today. Feeling awesome actually, although I'm not sure I'd say that when it comes to getting up, but I got given egg sandwich, which is great, and it's in cardboard, we can recycle that. But yeah, it's just really great to finish. Really enjoyed the journey today, and maybe look forward to the next challenge. But folks, until then, enjoy your adventures and stay wild. Hey look, I've got my own coach.